A lot of gardeners are quietly destroying their soil with synthetic fertilizers and they don't even realize it. The plants look green for a few weeks, growth explodes fast, and people think everything is working. Until yields drop, leaves start curling, the soil turns hard, and pests suddenly become a constant problem. That quick growth comes at a cost, especially in raised beds and containers where nutrients wash out fast. What changed my results completely was switching to a natural fertilizer mix that actually feeds the soil first, not just the plant. And before I show you the exact mix, one small thing that helped me stop wasting nutrients was checking my soil moisture and pH properly. Most gardeners are fertilizing blind. Sometimes the issue isn't lack of nutrients at all, it's locked nutrients from bad pH or overwatering. I've been using the YAMRON 4-in-1 soil moisture meter to catch those problems early, especially in containers and hydroponic seedlings. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It saved me from overfeeding tomatoes more than once. Now here's the part most gardening channels skip. Plants don't care how expensive your fertilizer is. They care whether nutrients are actually available in the root zone. That's why many gardeners dump more Miracle-Gro into weak plants and somehow make things worse. High-salt synthetic fertilizers can stress roots, especially during heat waves or inconsistent watering. You get rapid top growth but weak root systems underneath. The natural fertilizer I'm about to show you works differently because it builds microbial activity while feeding plants at the same time. And the crazy part is most of the ingredients are cheap. The base of this fertilizer is compost tea combined with fish emulsion, molasses, and worm castings. Not separately. Together. That combination changes how nutrients move through the soil. Here's the exact ratio I use for raised beds and heavy feeding crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and squash. I fill a 20-liter bucket with non-chlorinated water. Then I add 2 full cups of quality worm castings, half a cup of fish emulsion, and 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses. Then I aerate it for about 24 hours using a cheap aquarium pump. That aeration step matters more than people think. Without oxygen, beneficial microbes don't multiply properly. You end up with weak compost tea instead of a living fertilizer loaded with microbial life. After 24 hours, the smell should be earthy, not rotten. If it smells bad, something went wrong. Then I dilute that mixture about 1:1 before applying it around the root zone every 10 to 14 days. The difference in plant strength is obvious within weeks. Thicker stems. Darker leaves. Better flowering. And most importantly, plants stop stalling during hot weather because the soil retains moisture better. That's the hidden advantage nobody talks about. Healthy biology improves water retention naturally. In one of my raised beds, I tested this against synthetic fertilizer on identical tomato varieties. The synthetic side grew faster early on, but by mid-season the natural fed plants had stronger production and fewer fungal problems. The synthetic side also needed more watering because the soil dried out faster. And wait until you hear what happened in containers because that's where this method shocked me most. Containers are brutal on nutrients. Water constantly flushes minerals out, especially potassium and calcium. Most people respond by overfeeding liquid fertilizers weekly, which slowly creates salt buildup. Instead, I started adding a dry natural booster every month. This part matters if you grow in grow bags or buckets. I mix 1 part bone meal, 1 part kelp meal, and 2 parts compost. Then I lightly scratch about 1 cup of that mix into the top layer of a 5-gallon container every 4 weeks. Kelp meal is massively underrated. It doesn't just feed plants. It contains trace minerals and natural growth hormones that help plants recover from heat stress and transplant shock. That's why my peppers stop dropping flowers during extreme afternoon heat. And here's a mistake I see constantly with natural fertilizers. People apply huge amounts thinking organic means safe. That's wrong. Too much fish emulsion can overload nitrogen. Too much compost can create phosphorus imbalances over time. Natural gardening still requires balance. That's why checking soil conditions matters. I've seen gardeners chase deficiencies that were actually caused by overwatering and low oxygen in the root zone. In hydroponic systems, this becomes even more obvious. You can't blindly pour organic matter into hydroponics and expect success. Most organic materials clog systems fast. What worked for me in hydroponic lettuce and herbs was using filtered compost extracts at very low concentrations combined with stable reservoir monitoring. And this is where many hydroponic growers quietly fail. They obsess over nutrients but ignore water temperature and oxygen. Warm stagnant water locks plants into stress even if nutrients are perfect. One summer I kept getting yellow lettuce despite feeding properly. Turned out reservoir temperatures were too high and roots couldn't absorb nutrients efficiently anymore. After lowering water temps and stabilizing pH, the same nutrient mix suddenly worked perfectly. That's why understanding plant biology matters more than buying expensive products. Good gardeners learn how roots behave. Now, if your soil is completely exhausted, there's one extra ingredient that can accelerate recovery faster than almost anything else: humic acid. I use small amounts mixed into compost tea for depleted beds that have been heavily fertilized for years. It helps improve nutrient uptake and microbial activity without forcing unnatural growth. But even humic acid won't fix dead soil if you keep using harsh synthetic salts nonstop. The real long-term goal is creating living soil that feeds itself. Once your soil biology improves, fertilizing actually becomes easier and cheaper because the soil starts holding nutrients instead of constantly losing them. That's when gardening gets fun again. You stop fighting your plants every week. You stop chasing deficiencies. And yields become far more consistent season after season. If you got value from this video, subscribe to the Farmagic channel because we focus on practical gardening methods that actually work in real backyards, raised beds, containers, and hydroponic systems, not internet myths recycled for views. And if you know another gardener still dumping synthetic fertilizer into struggling soil, share this video with them. Sometimes the biggest improvement in gardening isn't adding more chemicals. It's understanding how soil, roots, microbes, and water actually work together.